I'm Claire from createdtheottaway. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up here in the UK. Thank you for joining me. I've got a little mini album for you today. This is probably going to be a two-part video. This first part is about putting your album together, and then the second part I'll follow up with how I've decorated it. There's a little list of supplies you need. We're going to make an album out of envelopes, and we're going to put a couple of pockets in it and a couple of flaps. So I will move this over and put my list there. We're going to need six 6x6 envelopes. Obviously you can do this whatever size envelopes, just alter the sizes to fit your needs. I usually actually make 8x8 albums, but I wanted to do something with the beautiful hand-penned DSP, and I'm trying to be a bit stingy with it and make it stretch further. So I thought I'd give this album a 6x6 go and see where we end up. So 6 envelopes. I like to strengthen the front and back of my envelopes with a little bit of thin card. So you know the piece of card that comes in with your DSP, I've just cut that. I'm going to put that in the front and back, which I'll show you in a minute, and they are cut to 5 7/8 square, so you just need 2 of those. You could put one in every envelope to make the album even stronger, but I really don't think you need it. You are going to need 12 pieces of designer series paper. It's quite a good idea if you use a particular pack and then you know that it's full of coordinates. The front and back covers I leave square, but the inside I round the corners just to give it a bit more of a special look. So that's what I've done. I've already pre-prepared those, and they are 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. Lots of different colours. You are going to need some plain card. Because my envelopes are white, I've gone for white for my pockets and my side panels. These need to be 3 1/4 by 6 3/4, and I've just scored them on 3 sides at 1/2 inch. And then the designer series paper that goes on the top of that is 2 5/8 by 5 5/8. Sorry, this is really wordy to begin with, but hopefully you can gather all your supplies and then we can get crafting. The last thing that you're going to need is a side panel, which goes down the side of a page, and I'll show you how to give that a magnetic closure. The base card is 3 1/4 by 5 3/4, and I've just scored it at 1/2 inch on one of the sides, and you can see I've rounded the corners as well just to tie in with the DSP. And then the designer series paper that goes on that is 2 5/8 and 5 5/8, and you actually need 2 pieces, one for the inside and one for the outside. So okay, hopefully once you've got all your bits gathered, basically you need some envelopes, some cardstock and some pretty paper, and we can craft along together. So let's do that. So you've got your stack of 6x6 envelopes. Straight away I'm going to add my piece of card to the front one, or the first one. I don't know which one is the front, they all look the same. And that's that one. Then I'm going to take another envelope, okay, and I'm just going to stick this bit down. I first saw this type of album with Helen Griffiths. She makes some beautiful albums, so if you're really into mini albums, or actually big albums as well, take a look at her YouTube, because it's just stunning, all her makes. So what I've done is I've put some glue on the flap, and now I'm just going to match my envelope up, okay, like so, and just sticking it down. Now this envelope Hasn't got anything in it, but the envelope that is underneath has got my thicker bit of card, so that I know that's the front or the back, whichever way. So this bit that you lick or wet, oh sorry, I got a tickle, that sticks down to the previous one. So now what we've got is 2 envelopes with this lip still showing from the first one. So we get another envelope, so get our envelope, fold the flap back, we're going to put some glue on that and then stick it on there. So I'm going to do that again. This would make a really nice Christmas album if you've got nice red envelopes, and square always comes out really nice. So that again is just going on there. Just make sure that it's lined up. You've got a bit of wiggle room with your Tombow. I'm just going to have to get a drink. I think it's a nervous thing when I start videoing YouTube or videoing to put on YouTube. Okay, next envelope. You can see I've already folded it back. I've gone through and double checked what I need to do. So that's going to line up there. So I'm just going to put some glue on this flap. And you're just putting it on the flap. And then you just line up your envelopes. When you're happy, press down. So you can still see you've got this flap from the very first one. The next one, take your envelope, fold the flap back. You've got the hang of it by now. So you could make a much thicker album. I think the 6 envelopes is quite a manageable size. Quite nice to give as a gift as well, for any occasion. So I've done quite a lot of baby albums this way, but 8 by 8. Okay, then we come to the last one. So we need to put our piece of card in there again. Now, don't worry that you're putting a piece of card with some writing on. You're going to cover this envelope up anyway, so no one's going to know. And you do exactly the same with this one. So that goes, put glue on the flap. Okay, and you just line it up again. Make sure you're happy with it. Okay, now this bit is going to come right round and that forms your spine. You don't need to strengthen it at all. So we're just going to put some glue all over that because we want that to be stuck. And this is just going to fold round. Okay, now obviously if you've put a lot of envelopes together, it's going to have to stretch further. As in, this one just looks like it's an envelope, just normal. You wouldn't know there was loads of it, but if you've made a really thick album, it's not going to be so great. So that is my basic 6x6 album base. So if I just show you, okay, there's just my pages. The front and back cover are extra strengthened, and this is the inside. So now we start putting our layers on. So the front and back, okay, I've got this pattern for the front, and I've got the same pattern for the back, but I don't want just a plain yellow album. I want to sort of highlight the fact that it's the front and the back. So rather than just doing one piece, what I like to do is cut it in half, or roughly half. So I'm going to cut this, actually I want it that way round. So I'm going to cut it at 3.5. So remember that this is 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. And I'm cutting it at 3.5, which gives me 2 pieces. And I'm going to do that for the front and the back. So 3.5 again. Okay. So what that allows me to do is match them up. It's two-sided paper, remember. You want to see both sides. Well, I know I always do. So if I did that at the top and that at the bottom, already you get a completely different look. So I just need to glue that in place now. What I might do is put an extra band across it to hide the join. In fact, I always do that, I always hide the join. But let's stick this on so you can get an idea. Now I know there's just a small border I need to leave all the way round. So that's my bottom. And then remember to put glue on the right side because you want a contrast in your designer series paper. So that is going on the top, like so. And I'm just joining it up. Okay. And it exactly coordinates because it's Stampin' Up, and their coordination is second to none. So that is the front. So I'm just going to whip it over. Now, on the front I did the big piece there, but actually on the back I'm going to put the big piece at the bottom and the little piece at the top, just to be different. So this is my bottom piece on my back cover. Just stick it all over. And I've kept my pattern the same way with the wavy lines. But that will just go there. And then the top is floral, but it's just the smaller piece. So just match that up again. Exactly. You see what I mean about the line? So you can see the line, but you're going to see the line because it's a contrast in DSP, but it actually doesn't look that bad. When you're cutting your paper, you end up with lots of pieces like this. So it may be that you've got a piece that, these are not a good match, but say, although it's not that bad, because they're the same size, you end up with lots of strips like this. So if you had a nice green strip, that would fit across there really nicely. I don't know if I've got one. Let's have a look. No, got all the colours, but not, I've mainly purple in front of me. But if you put that, that would just finish the back off nicely. So if we go back to the front, so this is the front of my album, and this is the back. Looks nice already. So let's go to the first page. So we're just opening it up. Make sure you've got the first page. Okay, so a little bit of glue there, but that's all right because we're going to cover it in. So my first page, because I've got yellow on the front, I sort of want it to reflect it on the inside. So I'm going to put that one that side. I think it's actually that way around. And this side I'm going to do this colour. So it exactly coordinates, but it just looks beautiful. And can you see the rounded corners? What a lovely effect that is. Okay, so I'm just going to glue those in place because this one I'm not going to put anything, no flap or pocket on, so I can just glue that straight in place. Okay, make sure there's plenty of glue on there. And you just centralise it on your page. And that's that piece done. This side I'm going to have a pocket, but this sticks on top of the paper. So again, I can just stick this one straight down. And I want the floral side up, so I'm putting glue on the opposite side. So remember, these squares are 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. for a 6x6 envelope. So they are just going on there, like that. That looks beautiful together, doesn't it? Really lovely. So the pocket, now you could have picked one of the colours that's in your paper to coordinate, but I'm going with white because my envelopes are white. What I've done is cut the pocket, the card, 3 1/4 by 6 3/4, and then I've scored on 3 sides just 1/2 inch. Now you can see that leaves you a little square on the side, which I need to cut off, but I'm also cutting these at an angle. So if I cut it off like that, can you see the bit that I've cut off? And that is so that when I bend that over and that side over, I don't want that overlapping, so I'm going to trim that a little bit more because it just bulks out your album and you don't need it. Okay, so now when I fold it, let's fold that over so you can see, it's much better. So do the same with this side, cut it at an angle there, and cut it at an angle there, and that just gives me that. So using my bone folder, I'm just going to burnish those, flatten that side, make sure that they don't cross over. Then I'm going to put some glue on those tabs. You could just stick a piece of card across and that would give you a pocket, but this is much nicer. It looks more intentional, like you have put that pocket there because it's going to contain something, and that'll be in the second part of the video. So this pocket should fit nicely inside this paper. Now it's up to you how far up you want it. Okay, so that, just give that a press all round. Now the DSP, I've picked this because of that colour in the paper, and I think it's nice to have a contrast. That fits exactly on there, but what I am going to do is I'm just going to round the top corners, just because I think that will finish it off nicely. So if I do those, so I've just got a punch that rounds the corners nicely. Does it? Do we want it at the top or do we want it at the bottom? Actually, I think we should have it at the bottom. What do you reckon? Yeah, I think the rounded corners should have been at the bottom. Never mind. I'm going to put them on the bottom. Nobody, apart from me, will think that the DSP is upside down. Well, it's not upside down, but it is if you contrast it with the front. No one's going to notice, only me. Okay, so that gives you a nice, let's get a piece of, gives you a nice wide pocket now to put things in. Let's get a bit of cards. If you put a bit of card in, you could put a nice tag in there, somewhere to add a photo, anything like that. So that's the first page done. So there's the front, the second page. I really like that. Next page. So this one I have picked these colours. Now on the first page it was very florally on this side, so I'm going to do the opposite here. And also I've got a flap to go on this. So the flap, I think I would like this side, and I've already cut my DSP to put on the flap. But if we concentrate on this side first, and then I will show you how to do a magnetic catch on there. So this side is going to be floral, and that's just going to be glued. You're probably going to use a whole bottle of Tombow on this because there is a lot of gluing. You could use double-sided tape, that's absolutely fine. It doesn't give you wiggle room. We all like a bit of wiggle. So that's my second page. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to need to put a magnet under there before I glue it. So the first thing I'm going to do is prepare this side panel. So the panel itself is 3 1/4 by 5 3/4, and it's scored at a 1/2 inch, and we just press that down with bone folder. I put a piece of DSP on the top that I'm going to just round the corners. Make sure I do the right side, and that is going to go there. Okay, and that can go straight on as well. So let's do that. Okay, so that's going to go straight on the top of there. And again, I've just rounded 2 of the corners, not all of it. And that gives a nice effect there. Now I'm going to put a magnet or a washer on here and a magnet on there. So what I need to do is think about where my magnet is going to come on here. So if we take that off a minute, my pocket's going to go there. I've got these tiny magnets, these that I got from that company beginning with A. And you get quite a few, but I don't want to use 2 magnets because there's no need to. I just need 1. So it's about this, just slightly smaller than my fingernail. And I need some double-sided tape or a glue dot, anything like that. So I've got the tape. I'm thinking about where my magnet will go. So it's sort of about here. So when I open that, I put my double-sided tape on there. And I'm going to place my magnet on the top. I also put double-sided tape on the top. I don't know if you need to. It's just what I do. And then it will help the paper stick to it, you see. Now I need to stick my paper on. Now I want pink side up, like so. So that is going to go there and cover my magnet nicely. See, you can't even see it. Something on the paper. A little bit of glue. So you can't see my magnet. Now this bit, we need to make sure it's in the right place. So I've got a little washer. My husband's got boxes and boxes and boxes of tools. Okay, so that helps me put it in the right place. Put some double-sided tape again on the back of this washer, or a glue dot. It's just I've got double-sided tape to hand, so I'm using that. Just put it on the back, so you've still got the metal side there. Put it on, position that. Oh, just realised you put it off camera. So I've got double-sided tape on one side, nothing on the other. It sticks in the place that I want it to be. I put my pocket, still without my DSP on, where I want it, so about there, and press it down, and that puts it in place. Then I put my double-sided tape over the top again, just so that my DSP sticks to it as well as with Tombow. And then this is the DSP that I want, but that way. So I'm just going to crunch the corners again. Let's do that the right way. Okay, so that's going to be that way. Put some glue on my piece of DSP. Okay, and then add that to my side panel. Just like that. So you can't see the magnet at all. Just give that a chance to stick. Okay. Now, all I need to do now is add my flap, glue my flap. Oh, actually, let's trim those a bit because we don't want them to be so sharp, do we? Don't want them to stick out. So I'm just doing a little bit of a cut on the pocket, on the side panel. And that is how we do a magnetic side panel. So I can already feel the magnet attracting. So I'm just going to hold that in place for a moment. Okay, and then what that allows you to do, can you hear it snap close? And that's your side panel. So let's have a look. Page 1, page 2, oh, get those bits out of the way with a side panel. Now we're going to decorate this much more, but this is just the base of your album. So the next 2 pages are the middle pages. So I'm going to do them the same as the front and back. Which floral do we have? Yeah, so let's put floral on that. I'm not doing anything fancy on here. This is a page that I'm going to have journaling on, I think, or something nice, some nice sayings or a few embellishments, or a place for photos. So I don't want anything on these 2 pages. So I'm literally just adding my paper just as it is. Now, let's have it that way round. Put the DSP the way round that you're happy with. What is it they say? There's no mistakes in crafting, just happy accidents. Well, actually, I don't know who says it, but I very often do. Okay, so that's going to go there. So 3 pages in. So that's the front, that's the next one, that's the one with our magnetic closure, 3rd one. Okay, so we're on 4th page already. Okay, so this one is these 2. Okay, and I think this has got a side pocket as well. Now, do I want the side pocket the same, that side, or should I have it on this side? Should I have those that way round? That does look quite nice. Let's do that. Okay, so this one is just going to be glued as normal. And then, can you remember what we did with the magnet? Let's see if we can repeat it. We're nearly there. If you're getting fed up with watching, the next 2 pages are a repeat of the first 2. So you could go ahead and get making now. Or you can watch me to the end. So this one, I've already cut my DSP, and I remember that the front bit I can just put straight on. So let's round these corners just to give it a better look, and that can go just straight on there. Oop. This was a new glue when I started. It's got to the point where you have to shake it down. Okay, so that's just going on there. Happy with that. Oh, yep, happy with that. So I'm going to put that to one side while I concentrate on this. So my magnet, another little magnet out. This saves you using 2 magnets on everything. So there's my magnet. If If I bring that back again actually, because I need to know roughly where my pocket's going to be. I think it's about there. So my magnet, oh, it can feel the presence of the other one. Okay, well that's all right because that helps. Okay, that's going to go there then. So we put some tape behind it, didn't we? We're just going to put there to hold it in place. And then we put some tape over the top of it to hold it in place and also to help the DSP stick to it. Like I say, you can use glue dots. Then we stuck our paper down and it's floral side down. So that's the next bit to do. Okay. And it doesn't matter which way round that goes actually because it's any way up paper. So that's there and you can't see the magnet. Now the sidebar is going to go on here, but do you remember what we did? We made it stick to our magnet and then we put some double-sided tape up on it or a glue dot. Oh. My hands have got a bit sticky now, so it's not so easy to get it off. Okay, so that's going to go, oh, there. Is that about right? About there, I think. Yeah. So then if I put this over where I want it, there. Oh. Do you know what I've done? I've stuck it the wrong way. There you go. Luckily, it didn't stick. I put it tape side down. Okay, so now, oh, it's there. Well, it's magnet to the other page as well, but that's quite good because that will hold my page together. My album together. So now I'm just corner crumping 2 corners to put them on there. Yeah. Oh, which side is it? That side. That side. Make sure you put glue on the right side. Okay, so that goes there. Just on my side panel. Okay, and then trim this bit off a bit, trim it off a bit there, and then put some glue on, and that is our side panel for this side. Okay, very nice. It's really pretty together, those papers, isn't it? Okay, so that's that. And then our very last 2 pages, we've got this and this one. I think I'll do it like that or like that. Like that, and I'll tell you why, because I want to put a pocket on the last page. Or should it be like that? And then do the pocket like that. Ooh. I can hear you all shouting at me. Floral, stripy. Okay, let's do stripy. Feel really bad hiding floral paper. All the time and effort that went to designing it. Right, let's do that. Quick. Glue it down, stick it down before we change our minds. I don't know if anybody else has as much trouble as me using or choosing which side of the paper to use. It's not very often that I feel I'm asked to make a certain colour card, because that would help. If somebody said, oh, could you make a really pink card or a really blue card? But no one says that. They say, could you make a card for an anniversary or something like that? Perhaps I need the choice taken away. Right, I'm going to go straight across and see if that helps. Okay, so if I fold that back and that back, oh, it's just, fold that back and that back, oh, just about. So that's good. Okay, now let's get this. Does that look okay? Because it's sort of sideways flower. Oh, I think it'll be all right. Okay. Oh, that didn't do very well. I wasn't concentrating. I'm still thinking about the floral paper. Have I done the right thing? Okay, so that's going to go on there. Let's stick. Oh, we haven't stuck this on, have we? Okay. Last page. Okay. So that's going to go that way round or that way round? Should we have it going across instead? Gives a slightly different look. Okay, so that's going that way. Now this doesn't matter about the stripes because we're covering them up. And then we can do our ta-da moment. Okay, so that's going like that. Need some glue on the flaps. Glue on this flap. Glue on this flap. And then, oh, really sticky fingers. Let's see if we can find the place for it. Ah, you know what? Because it's got stripes across, I need to be careful where I place it because it won't look. Can you see the stripes? No, I think that's all right actually. Looks good. So where's my bone folder? Because my fingers are a bit sticky. I don't want to ruin the album. Okay, so that's perfect. Pocket there. Okay, you ready, girls? Let's have a look. Oh, gents, ladies and gents. Okay, mini album. Da, da, da. Page 1. Oh, look at the lovely pocket. Page 2. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's got a magnet. Page 3. Oh, that's pretty. Page 4. Oh, another little magnet. Page 5. Beautiful. Ta-da! So there you go. Part 1 of our 6x6 mini album. Thanks for watching. Bye.